Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Game for, which date is it? It's the 7th of September. But first of all, let's just go through things happening on the live game. There was a maintenance this morning. It took care of some of the usual back-end stuff that we do on Thursdays. And as some people pointed out, no, the RPM glitch has not been fixed yet, sadly. Sadly, it turns out that it needs a client-side fix, which we'll be deploying as soon as possible. Some people might know that getting a patch out on, say, like PlayStation 4 and Xbox One can be a bit tricky, but we're going to push the PC patch as soon as we possibly can, and then push out consoles as quick as we can. But do remember, though, that using the RPM glitch is a bannable offense. Ban wave has already gone out. We banned quite a lot of people. I'm not going to give you exact numbers right now. We might get back to that. And we're probably going to do at least one more, probably more, if you guys don't behave. So don't use the RPM glitch. Leave it alone, and you won't get banned. I don't have any updates on the update 1.8 PTS, sadly, and not on the next global event. I know some people are really, really waiting for that. But we'll have news about that very soon. As soon as we possibly can, we're gonna talk to you about those things. Can you just give us, we briefly touched upon both Skirmish and Resistance during State of the Game last week, but can you just give like a high-level update on what Skirmish actually is?
Sure. It's 4v4 TDM, right? Here's the moniker. Get your PvE out of my PvP. There it is, right there. That's the tagline.
It's what people have been wanting for a while.
Yeah, I'm actually going to put on, while we're talking about this, I'm actually going to put on a video taken from Skirmish. And people are going to get a first look at what the game mode actually looks like. There won't be any sound, but let's have a discussion about it while that's playing.
Perfect.
Excellent.
I love that the player in question here is called Faye is Bay, which is awesome. So first of all, just to talk about what we're actually seeing, I know you guys aren't, but we have this intro screen where you see the 4 people from your team.
That's correct. It was big important for us to really showcase our characters for the first time. Show the player your 4-man squad, and we have a lot of sexy stuff people can put on. So
absolutely.
Let's get up close and personal and let people see it, and also let people inspect. That's something we're going to go on a little bit later, but the best person in the match, you're going to be able to inspect them and see what gear they're wearing, see what weapons they have and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be actually a really good kind of teaching tool for players getting up to speed with PvP who maybe didn't jump in before.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And maybe it's a little secret. I'm going to give a secret. Ready
Go
for a secret? You're going to be able to do an emote when you're on that screen. So, you can select a certain emote, put it in a slot, and you can do a little backflip, do the Macarena, whatever you want to show your teammates that you know how to do. You'll be able to do that on that screen.
That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's a secret, though, just for State of the Game people. Don't tell anyone else.
So we were talking about Skirmish, and as I said, we're watching it on the screen right now. How big is a Skirmish arena?
So they're kind of they're new arenas, right? So they're totally kind of their own contained spaces, but I'd say they're roughly the size of some of our largest landmarks or extraction zones. So think maybe like Bryant Park or some of the rooftop gameplay up in DZ 8 and 9. Mm-hmm. They're pretty big, but they're all about getting you into combat quickly, right? We want to minimize run times.
Yeah. So. If I had another phrase to coin, it'd be less running, more gunning, baby.
Oh dear.
That's actually
God.
We're gonna sell T-shirts with that on it. So
yeah,
but just
he's right. Bryant Park, that side. We custom built these things. They're for this 4v4 size, so they're pretty optimized for that.
Let's just make one thing clear. There are no, compared to Last Stand, which is these huge areas you fight in, there are no NPCs, anything like that. This is just pure team deathmatch from start to finish.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we've kind of redone the spawning system. So you come in waves with your teammates. Like if you have a team wipe, you all come in together, kind of close in proximity, and you can charge back into battle. It's probably an average of, at most, 10-second run times until you're back in a fight.
And that's tops, man. That's tops.
So moving on to how the scoring in Skirmish actually works. We see a counter here at the top of the screen. currently says 5 and 3. What do those numbers mean?
So, you know, we obviously have a lot of ways to revive players. So scoring actually takes effect when you send someone all the way to the death screen, right? So you down them, but you have to get up and finish them. That scores a point. So if you are playing tight with your team and you're reviving people and you're getting people back up and popping recovery link at the right moment, you can actually take points from the other team and kind of, you know, even the odds a little bit more.
Yep. You're essentially counting to top kills.
Right. So what's looking at ranks? Last Stand has ranks, UG has ranks, etc. How does ranking, that kind of ranking work in Skirmish?
Well, what we're doing, we're taking the Last Stand rank actually and repurposing it. So we're gonna make that the PvP rank. That might not be what we call it at the end of the day, but you can rank up this PvP rank in Last Stand or Skirmish. We know there's a lot of people already at max rank, so we have plans for rewards. But essentially, in a match of Skirmish, it's gonna function a lot like it does in Last Stand, where you're earning XP for actions that you do, and at the end of the match, that will accrue, and you'll have a total, and that will apply to the rank, and then you'll creep up and have the potential to earn Skirmish caches, and then post rank 40, right? Keith, we're raising the rank.
We're raising the rank. So, you know, we know a lot of people are already sitting at the max rank. There will be a lot of new players jumping in who maybe haven't played Last Stand yet. So we're going to bump the rank up all the way to 99 and give you this thing to keep building towards. But then taking it one step further, you know, at set increments after post rank 40, we'll be giving better rewards, unique rewards like classified caches.
Classified caches, everybody.
That's right.
Yeah. So again, this will give players the opportunity who don't have Last Stand to increase that rank. You can earn the vanity and items that you weren't able to earn, you know, before, and now you can push all the way to 99 and get classified caches. You know, the GE's over. How do I get classy caches? That's awesome. It's important to note also that Skirmish is normalized, right? Before we talk about scoring, we talk about rewards and all that stuff. This is just like Last Stand. It's a normalized play. I wanted to point that out before we got any further.
Right.
I know we'll talk about balance later, but
absolutely.
Yeah. Looking at kind of the end screen, I've actually seen this video before, and we're going to get to it sooner or later while this is running. There's this scoring board as well. What kind of activities do you expect people to do during a Skirmish match? What kind of activities are they rewarded for?
Oh, to earn XP, you mean?
Yeah.
You know, the similar gamut. You know, when you down someone, when you finish them, if you assist on the kill, healing, reviving, all those things.
Yeah, it's the ones that we had in Last Stand. But one new way to score extra points is if you were the person who put someone in that down state, when they're actually finished and score a point for your team, you get an extra mark that kind of boosts your score even higher.
All right, cool. So how does matchmaking work in Skirmish?
You'll love it. I'm sure you'll love it.
Oh, yeah. No, so it's, you know, we're kind of, once again, we're building on Last Stand. We have a matchmaking rank behind the scenes that keeps track of your overall, you know, win-loss, kill-death, your recent performance, and it's trying to put you with other similarly skilled players. And then we've taken that kind of one step further, like Terry mentioned, in that pre-round screen where you see your whole team. The person on your team with the highest matchmaking ranking, that's the person up front. That's the person kind of front and center that you can inspect and kind of see what's he doing, you know, what is his exact KD, what is his build?
Yep.
His or her build.
Right. And how long are the matches? How have you balanced kind of the length of play of a Skirmish match?
Well, I think the PTS will help us really dial that in. As it stands right now, you're going to a kill count of 20 or a timer of 10 minutes.
Yeah, so they're pretty snappy matches. You know, we want these to be kind of a fast, you know, session-based activity that you just kind of jump in and play a few really intense matches.
All right, cool. I think the match is slowly coming to a stop here on the screen, actually. They're going to let it run all the way, but we're going to talk about one more thing when it comes to update 1.8 that we haven't talked about before. It was hinted in certain articles that you would be able to do this, Oh, here's the victory screen now. I'm teasing it a little bit more, keeping people a bit interested. So there you go. There's the end screen.
And it's not final.
Yeah, we're still iterating, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
Gear optimization.
Boy,
yeah,
that's exciting. What would you like to know about gear optimization, Petter?
Well, first
This
of
is
all,
the thing I am pretty excited for.
First of all, what is gear optimization?
That's a great question. I guess the best way to sum it up is it's the next evolution of gear improvement. You could already recalibrate, right? And there were some limitations on recalibration that we placed on you, and then we gave you the classified gear, and we said, hey, now you can recalibrate 2 stats. But now we're giving you the next step, right, which is essentially gear optimization, which will allow players to chase the ultimate build.
Yeah, chase the perfect build.
Yeah, chase it, baby. God rolls around the corner.
So what kind
That's what it is.
What kind of items is included in this system?
So you're going to be able to optimize, all your weapons and your 6 gear slots. So your chest piece, mass, things like that. And when you kind of optimize it, you're really going in, and anything that's not min-maxed, you're bumping slightly higher on that stat, right? And you can kind of incrementally push towards the perfect min-max build.
So how does it work when I log in the first time? How does it work practically in the game?
Oh, Keith, are you ready?
Yeah, so when you log into 1.8 the first time, you're on your character select screen, you see your gear score. It's not going to say 256 anymore. Yeah, so the gear score is now reflective of the quality of the rolls of on all your items. So if you have a really good armor roll and a really high primary stat and majors and minors, your gear score is going to be closer to the cap. So the new gear range for World Tier 5 is 256 is now that's the bottom line. That's what everyone was at. No one's going to go below that unless you start equipping World Tier 4 gear or something. And you can push up to 286. That's the new cap. So running around the world, you'll see players with different gear score, your loadout screen. You might have your Lone Star build totally min-max and awesome, and now you're working on your Alpha Birds build and kind of boosting that gear score up. It adds a lot of excitement to every gear drop, right? We're so used to seeing a gear set, green loot pillar, and it's just well, I already have all that stuff, right? I guess I'm going to sell it. Well, now it's I go up and I look at it, and if that thing drops with a 282 gear score, I'm slotting it in. It's going to be better than what I have. Maybe I reroll 1 stat, It makes every loot drop a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, it's super, super exciting. And it's all kind of wrapped into one. This new visualization, the gear optimization. So, just imagine going to this new optimization station. I'm sure we'll talk about this in a minute, but there will actually be a place in Camp Clinton in the terminal next to the recalibration station. It's going to be an optimization station. You're going to take your gear there, and you're going to watch that number climb every time you go and optimize it. And so you get this physical, this tangible reward and visual identification that you are better, right, than you were before. I think
Absolutely.
It's huge, huge.
Can you guys kind of tell us how Division Tech plays into gear optimization?
Yeah, so, people have been collecting Division Tech for a while now, and it's been accruing, and there's not been a great use for it.
Keith, how much D-Tech do you have?
Not enough. I need to get more. I've seen people posting on Twitter I got 3,000 D-Tech, and I'm whoa, I'm not even close to that. But good for them. But now D-Tech and the default e-credit currency, those are going to be used to at that optimization station. So I'm telling you right now, if you want to start doing some D-Tech runs, it will be useful, and we're going to add a lot more ways to get D-Tech in 1.8. A lot of places around Westside Piers.
Yeah, I think the Dark Zone. Again, we'll play with all this stuff, but I think the Dark Zone will be the most lucrative place to get D-Tech. But as we talked about on the last date of the game, it's going to be in Westside Piers. And as Keith mentioned, there'll be other ways to get it as well.
What's happening with stamina, guys?
We have detectives, apparently, that are watching State of the Game, because immediately there was a breakdown on Reddit of what was happening. But yeah, we are adjusting stamina and toughness for, endgame players. Previously, it had always been 1 stamina is 30 toughness. 1.6 took that back to 1 to 15. With all the new power and the new DPS that we're letting players have, we feel really comfortable bumping that back up It's going to once again let players push further in PvE content. It's going to let you push to higher waves in resistance. And yeah, it makes the game just overall feel more consistent in the timed kills.
Yeah, and of course you're going to say, wait, doesn't that make it spongier, Keith? Not necessarily. You know, some of the classified gear, we're giving you reasons to push into the stamina build. We won't go into details about that, but you know, the increased DPS and things like that. It feels good.
Yeah, it feels great. And this is one we've been playing with for a while, so I can't wait to get it on the PTS.
In the Dark
I
Zone,
like speaking.
you can go rogue. We're not going to talk about that today, but can we give a little tiny spoiler of what people can expect during State of the Game next week?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, Rogue 2.0, that's what we're calling it. A whole bunch of changes. I get shaky thinking about it because I love the Dark Zone. But as a teaser, one of the big elements of Rogue 2.0 in the Dark Zone is that friendly fire will now be off in the Dark Zone. There will be no friendly fire in the Dark Zone, which means you have a button press. There is a toggle to go rogue. No more accidental rogue. No more chasing manhunts and then accidentally hitting your buddy and then having the whole group turn
to you because you're the weak prey at that moment.
We'll talk all about what that button press means, how you do it, and all the other changes. There's a lot of them. We'll talk about next week.
That was like the smallest little piece of it.
Yes.
So.
But we'll see you guys next week. And yeah, thank you very much for coming.